Hi folks, welcome to the second part of my VV Puram Food Street Tour, Bengaluru's most popular street food haunt.
10 rupees for a plate of idli. Where can you get food that's as honestly priced as this? This is a sort of steaming hot snack that you can have just by itself, entirely on its own.
In part 2 of my delicious street food trail at VV Puram, I taste everything from Avrekalu vadas, paddus, mini idlis, obattu, badam milk and end with the popular Gulkand ice cream and fire pan. In episode 1, I tasted popular treats from a range of eateries including the iconic VV Bakery. If you haven't caught all that yet, you'll find a link to it right here and in the description below. Watch this video till the very end to catch the rest of my Tindi BD trail.
So these are water hyacinth beans or Avrekalu. There's a lot of dishes that they make with the Avrekalu, and one of them is that Avrekalu vade. So we're going to taste some Avrekalu vade here at VV Puram. Esto?
10 rupees per piece.
Give me 2 pieces. Nothing like eating hot food, especially if you're eating vades. So he says it's a mix of the gram flour and the water hyacinth beans, the Avrekalu, just so that it binds together. I'm hoping it's going to be great because I've heard so much about it. Avrekalu vade, you're going to come to Sri Vasavi Vashishta Tindi, which is right at the entrance of VV Puram Food Street. Thank you. This vade is so hot that I can't even hold it. It's as hot as that. You can see the Avrekalu, the water hyacinth beans. You can see all the steam escaping from this vade. It's as hot as that. This is as delicious and as nutritious that a vade can get. So you've got all these water hyacinth beans, you've got the dill, you've got some onion, you've got some garlic. That's come together in this very happy, scrumptious, satisfying bite. And what I like in this vade are the delicate flavors. So you taste that earthy, slightly powdery texture of the Avrekalu bean. You taste the greens, the coriander, the dill. You get that fragrant flavor of the dill. You get a slight sweetness of the onions and that very mild heat of the green chili that's gone into it. It's such a flavorful vade and it's cooked to that perfect crunch. Very good. 20 rupees you get 2 vadas. Have 2 of these and it'll keep you happy for at least a couple of hours. This street just has so much food happening. You can quite easily get lost and confused trying to figure out where and what to eat. And I'm so happy that we got all these suggestions from our viewers that are actually guiding us to the right dishes, to the right eateries. It's great to watch people enjoying the food. So I've been told that at Sri Vasavi Mane Tindi to try the Avre Bele Akki Roti and also the Paddu. So that's what we've ordered here and we're going to taste that here. So let's taste the Avrekalu Akki Roti first. That rice dough is so delicate that they need to put it on that special paper and then put it on the tawa. Because it's as delicate as that. It'll break otherwise. And once it's cooked, the paper peels away from that Akki Roti. Lovely. Thank you. Oh my God.
White pani puri.
I think we got to move to a quieter corner to be heard. So this is the mood here on VV Puram Food Street. You get your plate and you just walk around. Find a quiet nook if you can in this crowded street and settle in to tuck into some great food. It's unbelievable, this Avrekalu Akki Roti doesn't have the slightest bit of oil. It's as dry as that. You can see the green flecks of the Avrekalu, the dill, the onions. going to taste this akki roti with that avrekadu saru. I'm going to taste this now with a chutney. When you come to VV Puram Food Street, if you're a newbie, you can very easily get intimidated by the hustle, the bustle, the traffic, moving along the street, honking you out of their path. But it's all good. I quite like the flavor of the akki roti with this avrekadu saru. The chutney here, I felt was all right. I think the coconut in that chutney has begun to ferment a bit more than it should. But that avrekadu saru is delicious. This is not a snack. This is more like a full-on meal here at VV Puram Food Street. So it's crunchy where it's been cooking on the pan, on the tawa for the longest. And on the top it's soft. I think that avrekadu makes for a tasty textural relief when you're eating this akki roti. Now that we've tried the akki roti with the avrekadu, it's time to try the paddu here. So what's interesting about the paddu is the fact that this is dosa batter, but dosa batter that has been enriched with some onions, with some greens, perhaps some dill, maybe a sliver of green chili or two. And the dosa batter is then cooked in these cavities, which is interesting because it cooks it in a very interesting manner. So you've got the heat that emanates from the grill, from the stove, which gives that part of the paddu which is in contact with the mold a nice crunchy sort of an exterior and a soft airy inside, which is what makes that paddu interesting. You can see he's flipping it around as the paddu gets cooked. Thank you. So there you have it, my plate of the paddu. All that steam that's escaping. You've got the onions, you've got some dill. This is so hot I can barely hold it. You can hear that paddu go crunch, crunch, crunch. What I also like is that slightly sour twang of that paddu. So the batter is obviously fermented for a bit, resulting in that slightly sour flavor that you taste. So you got the crunch of the paddu, you got the crunch of the onions and that green freshness of the dill. Next I'm going to dunk this paddu into this chutney. The paddu has absorbed all that chutney. This is going to be one flavorful bite. You can taste that coconut. There's also that gram flour that's gone into this chutney and a little bit of spice from the green chilies. The chutney does perk things up, but if you were to ask me, this is a sort of steaming hot snack that you can have just by itself, entirely on its own. There's so much flavor, texture that's happening in this paddu that it makes for a tasty bite just by itself. So we've already eaten a lot of food, but we've heard of this place called Sri Gurudev Idli Hotel that's extremely popular for its mini idlis, and that's what we're going to taste next. 10 rupees for a plate of idli. Where can you get food that's as honestly priced as this? 3 mini idlis for the princely sum of rupees 10. You know this idli is going to be soft because it's porous, it's trapped all that air inside. So it's going to be soft and fluffy, and that's what I'm really expecting to taste in the idli here. That idli almost melts in your mouth. This idli, the porous texture of this idli has trapped all that air, literally dissolving it in your mouth. As for the chutney, it's a bit watery, plays a very distant second fiddle to the idli. But I think it's all about the idli here. Actually, there are 2 chutneys here. One is a red chutney, and I'm told the red chutney is the one to have. But because these chutneys are so watery, they have almost merged one into the other. So I've got a bit more red here, so I think that's a bit of the red chutney. I'm going to taste that. I think that red chutney is interesting. I'm going to try and see if I can get some of the red chutney on my idli. If I can fight through all that crowd and get a bit of the chutney. ಇದು ಒಂಚೂರು ಚಟ್ನಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದಾ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು So I've got that red chutney slathered over my idli now. The red chutney certainly packs a spicy punch. I think the green chutney, which is made with gram flour, is quite watery and also very diluted in its flavors. But that red chutney certainly packs a spicy punch. I'm sure there's plenty of red chili powder that's gone into that chutney. But I think the real hero on this plate is that soft, porous, almost melt in the mouth idli. I think we've tasted some 15, 16 or 17 items here on VV Puram Food Street. We began right there at the beginning and we are now at the end of the street. And I think we're also at the end of my appetite. But I think we're going to shift gears now and taste something sweet. So we're going to begin with the Obbattu, which is right here at Idli Mane. It's called Idli Mane, but we've just tasted the idlis. So we're going here for the Obbattu, the sweet Obbattu. So these are the two holiges that we've ordered for. The Obbattus, also called the holiges here. So this is a plain one, which is with the lentils and the jaggery, some cardamom. And this is the Kai holige or the Kai Obbattu, which has some coconut in it as well. There was some ghee that was being slathered on top of the holige. So I got both my Obbattu here. This is the plain Obbattu, which is made with the lentils, jaggery, cardamom. And then this is the Kai Obbattu or the Kai holige. The only difference between this and this is the fact that this is also studded with some coconut. So this is going to be a rich sort of a holige. So I'm going to begin with the plain holige. You know, that's a nice thing about eating here on Thindi BD. The food is mostly hot and you can ask for it to be prepared hot right there in front of you, so you know what you're tasting. I love the flakiness of the bread that's holding that filling inside. So that's a roti that's made of maida. So the filling is stuffed inside pretty much like how a paratha is stuffed. You can definitely taste that buttery ghee that's been liberally sprayed on top of the holige just as it's about to be finished. And then you have the sweetness of that filling, the lentils, the jaggery, and you can definitely taste the cardamom that's gone into it. I think next we're going to taste the Kai holige. The Kai holige definitely feels a lot weightier. I think the coconut lends to the heft of that holige. I got some of the coconut filling that's already seeping from within the holige. The sticky richness of the coconut filling that you can see here. You taste that toasty flavor notes of the coconut. The regular holige is light, but the Kai holige or the coconut holige is definitely rich. Rich in its flavor, rich in its texture, rich in its body, rich in its weight. And also that toasty, sugary, sticky coconut sweetness that you taste in that holige. If you like your coconut, you will definitely enjoy this Kai holige. It's been a long evening tasting a lot of food. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, but I think I need something that's going to nourish me a bit now. I think we're just in the right place. We're at Mumbai Badam Milk and Lassi Center, and I've heard a lot about their Badam milk, and that's what we're going to taste here. Just standing here and taking in all those aromas of that Badam milk which is bubbling away. I already feel nourished by the fumes, by the smoke that's emanating from here, by the steam, all that goodness of the milk. That's wonderful. So this is a store that's been around for the last 25 years, and that's a good thing about many of the establishments on VV Puram Food Street. They've been around for a long time. They have a history of catering to customers. They have a history of catering to satisfied Bangaloreans over the years, and I think that's what makes Thindi BD, that's what makes VV Puram as popular, as famous as that. And of course there's a malai that's going. You know, what is Badam milk without some malai? Thank you. So I've got my airy, frothy Badam milk with all that malai. Look at that rich, nourishing, creamy malai. I want to taste some of that with that Badam milk. This Badam milk is so delicious in its flavors. You can taste the almonds, you can taste the kesar, you can taste the pistachio, all the dry fruits, all the wonderful things that have gone into it. And also that Badam milk is lush and creamy. So they begin with 40 liters on that day and it keeps boiling away, keeps bubbling away. It's cooked and cooked and cooked into that dense, nutritious, sweet tasting malai. If you love your milk, you got to come here and try the badam milk. So after the badam milk, it's time to taste another sweet offering here at VV Puram Food Street, for which we've arrived at Shivanna Gulkand Center. And I'm told the thing to have here is the Gulkand ice cream. Ali Gulkand ice cream bada famous ಇದೆ ಅಂತೆ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಆಯಿತು ಗುಲ್ಕಂಡ್ ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಇದು ರೀತಿ?
ಜನಗಳಿಂದನೇ ತಯಾರಾಗಿರೋದು. ರೋಸ್ ಪಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮು, ಬನಾನಾ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸು.
So he tells me this is the Gulkand ice cream that's being prepared for the last 80 years, and it began with his father, Mr. Shivanna, and that's why the store is named such. So there you go, I have my ultimate dessert here at VV Puram Food Street. This is a Gulkand ice cream. So you've got the rose petal Gulkand, which is right at the bottom, and then you've got this butterscotch ice cream. It's melted a bit, and then you've got all these fruits. So you've got bananas, you've got apples, you've got some dates, you even have some figs, some glazed cherry, and also some amla, some murabba, some pickled amla. So this is supposed to be a healthy way to end your food journey here at VV Puram Food Street. So that's the butterscotch ice cream that you taste. The ice cream by itself is quite sweet, but when you mix it up with the fruit, it rounds up all the flavors very nicely. And of course you got also the amla murabba. I'm looking to taste that neck with some of that Gulkand and some of that ice cream that's melted away, and a bit of the fruit as well. That amla is a bit sour, not too much though, and it absorbs all the flavors of the Gulkand so well. But you can certainly taste the fiber of the amla, the pickled amla, the murabba as you're biting on it. I think the key to enjoying this Gulkand ice cream is to mix up things and yet also taste the individual components by themselves, because sometimes you're tasting just the butterscotch ice cream, it's a little too sweet, so then you go to the murabba that cuts down the sweetness, and if you want a little bit more of the sweet, then go to the Gulkand, and if you want a little more of the crunch, go for the apples, go for the grape. I think it makes for a nice, wholesome, if I could use that term, dessert. So after tasting about 20 dishes, I need something to digest all that food. And I'm told the right thing to do here is to have the fire pans. So I'm here at Pan Point, which is somewhere in the center of VV Puram Food Street. And I'm here to taste their fire pan. They've got a bunch of other pans here. And I'm told these are their sweet pans which have been coated with strawberry. There's some chocolate and a whole bunch of other sweet, delicious sort of pan offerings. But I'm here to taste the fire pan. So let's take a look at how that fire pan is made and also taste it. I hope I don't get burned. Gulkand. Jelly है. Tutti frutti. ये क्या है?
वो मस्ती है.
हाँ?
मस्ती है.
Masti. Masti मतलब I lost track of what's gone into that. I know there's some ice, there's some Gulkand. Chocolate syrup. I think this is looking less of a pan and more of a dessert. Well, you got some cloves, you got some dry pineapple in that. क्या करूँ?
क्या करना है आपको?
Needless to say, I'm stunned by that pan and I'm speechless at this point. I really can't talk. So when he puts it first, you can see that fire, and as you taste it for a lingering, for a fleeting second, you can taste the fire, if you know what I mean. And then you've got that intense burst of coldness that comes from the ice and from the other condiments that have gone into that pan that takes over your palate. And that's really what this pan is about. It's got a whole bunch of things going in there, and I'm told it's a good digestive. And that's what I need after having tasted about 20 dishes here at VV Puram Food Street. So we've spent the last 5 hours here at VV Puram Food Street, Thindi BD, and I think I've tasted about 21 dishes, 21 items at last count. And I think each one of the dishes that we tasted has been special. Each one of the dishes has been interesting, has been extraordinary. And I want to thank the viewers out there who have recommended, who have suggested all these dishes for us to taste. So if you're into street food, especially vegetarian street food, VV Puram Food Street at Bengaluru is a place that you should definitely check out. It's got great food, food that's prepared fresh right there in front of you and at prices that are extremely honest. So until the next episode of Gourmet on the Road, stay safe and happy eating.
At Food Lovers TV, my team and I work hard to produce engaging food and travel videos. If you like our work, do check out our Patreon page where you can pledge a nominal sum in lieu of special privileges like behind the scenes footage, early video release, exclusive Q&As, merch and much more. For more info, check out the link in the description below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, share, like and leave a comment here. Happy eating!